Hi warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today I really fancied doing a little bit of baking, and specifically I wanted to finally get around to making some cinnamon buns. My sister Evelyn left loads of sourdough behind for me, so I thought it'd be quite fun to experiment with sourdough cinnamon buns. I am not one to bake. I have never made cinnamon buns in my life, let alone sourdough cinnamon buns, but let's pray that this works out. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm also going to be answering some assumptions about me, so keep watching. Right, so the first assumption I received was that I'm a very clean person. Am I a clean person? Does that mean my body is clean? Like, I don't smell? Or does that mean I am very tidy? Because if it's the former, I just did a little workout. But if the latter, then yes, that's probably true. I do like my house being all tidy, so in that way I am definitely a clean person. Right, going in with about 75-ish grams of active sourdough starter. About 100 of this flour, and I think I'm gonna have to use a bit of bread flour as well because we're all out of this one. Pray that this works. So I used about 370 grams of flour, a bit of a mix of both, but regular plain flour is probably recommended. And now about 115 grams of butter. I made some sourdough crackers before, and today I'm just using up literally all of the butter just for my baking endeavors. I'm gonna melt this. Next is 40 grams of sugar, but I've actually got some applesauce I made and I'm going to be using that. Apple and raisin. 125. And the butter. Next assumption, you are very clever. Thank you. I think I work very hard at school and I study a lot, so I have always gotten good grades. I appreciate that assumption. Next, that you have acne. Ooh, I definitely did in the past. Whilst I had my eating disorder, my face was super clear. And then during my recovery, especially in the first year of university and also partially through my second year of university, I had loads of hormonal acne as my hormones were trying to rebalance again. But then I got my period back, my hormones rebalanced, and my skin is much clearer now. I do still have some spots now and then when I'm on my period mainly. But yeah, mainly my skin's quite good now and I'm really quite pleased with it. I do have a whole video about acne and recovery and dealing with acne up on Patreon, so yeah, check that out if you're interested in it, if you want to know any more about my acne journey. But yeah, there's not really any products I use, anything like that, it just sort of fixes itself, really. Next, you are hardworking. Very true. If I have a goal in mind, I will go for it. Oh, my arm is tired though. Next assumption. I'm a minimalist. I definitely try to be. I try to not have that many clothes and just items in general. I don't like clutter at all. However, I do have like a really extensive amount of books. That's the one thing I just really enjoy. I like looking at, I like reading paperbacks rather than ebooks, so I'm minimalist, but I have my guilty pleasure in books. Next, you become an extrovert when people or friends get to know you better. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I wish there was like a off switch to being an introvert sometimes, but yeah, I'm definitely an introvert. I can get a little bit wild and crazy around my friends. So to some extent, that's probably true. Next, sort of related, you were a quiet kid at school. Yes. Right, I've kneaded for about 3 to 5 minutes and I'm going to cover it with a tea towel. I don't know why I always get into baking when I don't have any of the ingredients I'm supposed to. So I don't have sugar, so I'm using applesauce. Clearly didn't have enough flour, so I used some bread flour. Honestly, pray that this works. Anyway, I need to just leave this to rise for about an hour. So let's leave that right there. And let's start making the filling. This is all from baking today. Half of my butter is gone. Butter going in. Also, I hope you like my little setup here by the window, because I couldn't do this in the kitchen. We don't have a little kitchen island, so there's not really enough light. Oh, I know it needs to go in here. Pecans make everything better. The next assumption is that I am bisexual. Honestly, I've never been in a relationship with anything. I've never been in a relationship with anyone but Tom. And yeah, I've never been sexually attracted to a woman. That's not saying that it could never happen. But yeah, I'd say I'm Tom-sexual. As my dough rises, I asked if there was any more assumptions, and I literally just got this one. I always go into things with a plan, and that's really funny because Evelyn gave me loads of sourdough, about 100 grams, and I assumed I just had to feed all of it. So now I have half a kilo of active sourdough. Have a plan. Maybe I should. Future Hanne just popping in to say that I do tend to plan things ahead. Just nothing to do with cooking and baking. Before, that actually worked out quite well. This time, maybe I'm gonna need some of your thumbs up to save this experiment.
Looks like how we're continuing.
It is going to be dinner time by the time these cinnamons are ready. But anyway, while I wait another hour for it to rise, I received one more assumption. Maybe this is the last one, maybe not. We'll find out within the next hour. But if it is, it's definitely a nice one to end on, and it is: you feel like it's extremely unlikely you'll ever relapse again. That is so true. Doesn't mean that I don't still have bad days or that I can't feel anxious. I just don't use food to cope anymore. So I don't think I'll relapse again. Honestly, about to make dinner by now. But the cinnabreads are finally done and they look really good. I also got 2 more assumptions. One, that I'm intelligent. Thank you. And the other, time to taste test my cinnabon. Give this video a thumbs up if you had faith in me all along, because this is amazing. Obviously, if you just use regular sort of plain flour or whatever, probably going to be slightly fluffier, but I'm surprised at how fluffy it is. That is good. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. If you want to see me try to bake any other goods, let me know as well. Be sure to subscribe. If you try these out, tag me, and see you very soon.